Yeah. Yeah, man. Welcome to it. It's another epic episode. I think and believe and trust that it's going to be dope. It's been a minute since we've been here because we had a production break. So we're here, and today I came through with the bike.
Sure.
Yes, with the bike. I come Ngabula. Who's this guy? The ANC guy got jailed for 2 days. As a political prisoner. This
For 2 days?
Ulungisa. Andy
wow.
Lungisa, and I brought my bike because I feel this is a bike that Andy and yeah, this is a bike and Andy and Yokabula Shem when I got called from True FM.
Sure.
Yeah, it's always been there. It's my bike. It's my
Don't
go-to
have a lucky
bike.
item, hey?
Yeah.
My thing is, if I'm going to an important meeting, and on the set her up, and the shambi.
Hey!
No, for real. This is the reasoning. Ne? Do not call about awulalayo, ne? Uyaphefumlelwa ngabantu bakokwenu.
Okay.
Inhlahla zakho ziyaphokozwa phezu kwakho. I don't want to compromise that shit ke ngoku. Ndiqonda uba mandivuke, ndixukuxe, ndihambe.
So wonke umuntu wakhe wane meeting nawe.
Important one awada bengathethi nami bethela namanyangi.
And now wafika pha umuncu.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's my vibe and sokolise ngoba ndiyene ebhafini. Ndizayoxoxa into ezibalulekileyo.
Yeah. I guess we all have rituals zethu esinazo.
Yes, sir.
Esizenzayo. Some of them asizithethi. Umzekelo, na my life as a performer on stage, I knew in Dobangabana every time they pressed to go to the loo before a performance is going to be explosive.
Yeah.
Like without fail.
Because the nerves.
And I had a chat about this with Uabantu. And he's like, oh, you also got the same thing. I was like, oh, nigga, now.
I get that as well. And but don't go.
Try it once.
Don't go.
Yeah, try it once and come back and tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ubangabana ute wayenza and yielded to it. Oh yeah, wanjani.
Because it also for me it's an indication that it means everything to me. Yeah.
All right.
So that's what
welcome to it, Ephondweni the podcast. We're coming back. This is episode 8. Thank you very much for subscribing, really.
Dude, people have subscribed. People have been commenting.
Wow.
It's just been lovely. Obviously we can have more interaction. So they are encouraged abantu, they must comment, they must come through and have conversation with us. Ibe culture yethu into yabasephondweni every Tuesday.
Wow.
I listened to an episode. I was out of town, I was in Hamburg, and I listened to an episode number with my friend. And when we were coming from Port Alfred driving to Hamburg, and it was such a beautiful drive. So I'd like to recommend that to the people. But come on, man. Drive ulmamele. I promise you, it's just wonderful. You engage. You are absorbed into it as well. It's really lovely.
Beyond anything unorthodox. Beyond anything, it's unorthodox. And I can. Yeah, this is Yakim, the master builder.
Yes, sir.
And I'm with the certified gatekeeper.
We're still on that. We're still keeping the gates open.
Yeah, the lovely poetic soul is in the house. It's been a minute.
I know. But it's been a well-deserved break as well. I think and we decided but we're going to push hard.
Yes.
We're going to go for it. And we shot 7 beautiful episodes. We started off, but we came through and we thought, let's just sit back and try to improve on feedback esifumanayo from abantu. Sadly, we missed an opportunity kwi episode kaDumza that we released, but it will release years.
Yes.
Yeah, we do need to send an apology out to Dumza and to the followers that have been loyal to Ephondweni. Subscribe and whatnot for watching out for that episode. Bafike mhlambi soundy week and whatnot. It was the last kicks of a horse that will never die, but we'll remove that post if I can on YouTube. And on the 28th, we have scheduled that episode Kadumza Maswana will go live
with the visuals and everything.
Yes.
You know, because God has been on our side, because we really thought we'd lost the footage. We lost the footage, but found it again. Miracle.
Oh, I was lost, but now I am found.
Luvuko, yes. Ash Wednesday vibes. You know, man. Let's get to it. And look, from the production break and to now, I think there's a lot that has happened. You know, in the country, Ekabecha, Ephondweni, and everywhere. You know, so it has really been. I don't want to say a struggle, but it's been quite an exercise. To actually sift, you know, what we deem important.
For me, it's also been an exercise of restraint, because you know that you've got this platform, Elipondo. Then something happens and you feel like saying, guys, let's quickly record so that we can be relevant. But you're like, nah, bide your time and wait it out. Akunyanzelekanga ubene opinion on everything. Akunyanzelekanga nibene lizwe on everything. Sit back and regain the energy. Come back and do this thing right again.
And I also believe that relevancy is subjective.
Yes, sir.
You know, because what's relevant to me is not relevant to someone else. Same age, older and younger. What is relevant is not. I think the most important thing, whether you go out and pursue art or whatever, you must be truthful. And just be you.
Truth music for the listeners.
Man. Hey, but I think, you know, as we start the year, there's just, I'll say a dark cloud that's covering
first quarter.
South Africa.
We're starting the year, man. First quarter.
Yeah, but the first quarter is the quarter that starts the year.
I get you.
Yeah, you know, we've lost artists, you know, people who've been assets to the country, people like Kenan Forbes, people like Costa, and because Costa teaches is Greek.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Greek. So
I'm not that familiar with him. I'm not gonna act like does a lot about him, but I noted it. He passed away on stage, very much reminiscent of the death Kama Miriam Makeba, who passed away on stage as well. Yeah,
and Papa Wemba. I think Papa Wemba he passed on similarly to Papa Wemba's passing.
Okay, yeah.
Papa Wemba is a Congolese artist.
The one Papa Wemba, yeah.
How he dropped off that stage dancing I think is the same. It's with everything. Costa teach everything. Sure. And I believe, let me not say believe, but when I watched the video, and then waphathwa zezafeet, I was like, eish, maybe if they did not protect image yakhe and went for his aid before he aid the image, mhlawumbe would have had something on there.
What actually happened?
So they went in and they took him off stage. But umntu mos obane feet ixesha elininzi uyakhululwe inansika amabhanti yabo ezazini. So that did not happen. They lifted him out, bamsusa from view of abantu.
People.
Yes, yabo. And for me, I understand those people because ngela xesha, this thing was happening right now, and there was pressure, and they wanted to also protect the image. I understand them. So that's why they took him out. But maybe if babemkhulule iteki, bamkhulule yonke into ebophekileyo phaa kuye mhlawumbi, don't know.
Yeah. We may never know.
You understand?
So, Mama Gloria also passed on?
Hey, I did not see that one coming.
Oh,
do you know anything about it? What was the cause?
I don't know the cause of death. I don't know the cause of death. I just heard.
Was she sick?
I honestly don't know. I just heard from someone saying, "Ebenayo bengumuntu or diabetic." But other than that, I don't know if diabetes is the cause of death or something else is the cause of death. I honestly don't know. But it's one of those things is unexpected. Because lomdu engumntu kukileyo, ngumntu asefresh, yabona oqhubayo life. So you just don't know. It's the same as Kamu's death. It's the same as Kamu's death where everybody is talking about it. But I just saw him recently.
My thing with Unansik Ukamo is someone that I know from the art scene. Not really have a conversation with him. If there was a conversation, was like, yo, boy, you good, you know, and it ends there. But on social media, we're friends, and I've been seeing him, like, just the energy from the beginning of the year, Uzo Chongoku, what he has been, you know, the energy he's been radiating.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement.
He was
our commentator, Varsity Cup, ne?
Yeah.
He our commentator, Varsity Cup. Yeah.
He was living his life. He was full of it.
Yeah. The last time I bumped into him, Ukamu, Siku jam session, Gazamani, birthday jam session, Gazamani. We are slinging and say like an opportunity about TV and yo, welcome to the Varsity Cup. Da, da, da. You know, he's excited. And I think it was extra 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later.
He got to do
month later.
So
month later.
Yes.
It was a month later because the jam session was on the 12th of February and his funeral was on the 12th of March. Weird enough.
Later, he's gone.
Oh, man.
And other people had spoken to him that morning. I mean, he's just reported, but I can't do it. Let me bide my time, right? Type thing. And then there it goes.
He was asthmatic.
Yeah. I guess it goes to show you it. Akukondo fickle njengobomi.
Yeah.
There's nothing as fickle as life. It really is nothing. I think now I learned that from losing my sight. Like, yeah, kondo yenzeka fast njengobomi. Yeah, and you're thinking tomorrow there's a guarantee for something to happen. But you wake up and everything is different.
Hey man, I don't know. You know, the life that we live. I think 2023 going forward, or from 2021 when we got COVID, because it was the first time that we had experienced such death where we were held hostage by death. I feel that whatever idea that you have, try by all means to implement it.
Jump on it.
Whether you have the resources or you don't, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
There's no tomorrow. Yeah, it's still on my R&B. What if tomorrow never comes? Yes. That tomorrow never comes thing.
Yeah. Hey! Wow.
That tomorrow never. That tomorrow never comes. That tomorrow never comes thing. We need ubangabana see, understand it, believe in it. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, Nsika just given me a cup. If you've been following, these cups were given by Ulaki when he was here. Spatile NML, Shem. NML.
Yeah, no, they don't call it NML in PE. They don't call it that. Just an MN.
So we got in and say quite. You know, from the death, there's something very interesting that I saw. Yoba Kinan. Kinan's grave is slowly becoming
You know how we've all been referring to AKA as Keenan? And then after the funeral, everyone started saying Kieran.
Yeah.
Why are we these people? Because AKA's mom said his name was Kieran. So now, no, but you have a but twist but before they can pronounce Kieran.
Kieran.
I'm like, why, guys? Why must we force it now?
I'm scanning Kieran.
So when we see Kieran, I'm like, oh, shame, here's a brother that's true to himself.
I know Kieran.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. True.
Because strong, there's a picture of a guy, ithathe umuntu wayo shame. Yanaye pha ngcwabeni. Fika bethi selfie man.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're umuntu
date night.
Yeah man. Very
That's
romantic,
good.
man. I love that the culture is just expanding where we can go to the cemetery. Date comes nenza.
Sena worry. I think that cannot be a first date. This must be a couple ekudali sazana.
Maybe
that would go and have their date out like that.
Mhlambi bebesavile bebenayo imali yobangabana the next time efikile apha eariyeni.
Sayomukela, do you know what I mean? Yes.
Yes, man.
So good national monument.
I'm saying it's becoming that.
It's becoming
because of what I'm seeing. Because there's also a family ebithe yanansika ibipha ulosisi amanangcosi zakhe amanabantwana bakhe uyobuka pha shem.
That's beautiful though. But what are the people saying?
No, I wanted to kind of pose a question or think situation where culturally, Mosi, obviously siyathetha nabantu bakuthi izinyanya zethu from Emsamo, right? But we also go to the grave to speak to them, sibeke umqombothi, slight impepho, and yabo. So now why are we calling for the family to stop, I'm gonna say this nonsense, yabantu going there, and we are calling it this because abantu are asking the family ka AKA kuba, why are you guys not saying anything about this and blah 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 blah? But untreat those people, because if we're coming to Takim's point of if umntu mhlambe bezixelela uba uzoya eshowini yakhe and now they know ba they'll never get to go to that show, isn't the perfect closure going there to, I know people are taking pictures and whatever, but we don't know what they did before they took those pictures. So is it out of
I think as people, one, we are myopic. Two,
please explain the definition of myopic.
Yeah,
ndilazi nyani mna
sijonga apha phambi kweenyawo zethu.
Okay.
Okwesibini,
okay, etymology, myopic.
Yes. Yeah.
Myopic. Yeah. Myopic.
Yeah.
Okay, myopic.
Yeah, well, and I think secondly, we look and view culture as something that is static. You understand? So because we are different generation. Tina, as people who were born in the 80s, because we always wanted to understanding where.
Why?
Yes. You know? From School of Journalism. It was in those 5 W's. How many W's?
Why, how?
When and on. Yes, all that. And then we have 2000, the extreme. I don't know what they are called. Yeah, but in all of that, we need to understand that culture and language are things that are evolutionary, things that grow and whatnot. So if siyakwazi uba ne apartheid museum, apartheid monuments, and this thing, and have ingcwaba lika Nelson Mandela, kukho abantu abasuka eEurope, they're gonna go and see it because it's national heritage. Why not? Super mega.
And I think, kulendo ka super mega wena yakim, what pleases my soul and heart about it is the people going to his graveside, meaning ukuthi Mina, South Africa, that refused to bid him farewell as a state because the country refused. The president said no to AKA getting a provincial funeral, right? And the people
even
are
if
saying
it was national.
with every action Abayenzayo, the people are saying he deserved it.
Yes.
He's ours. He's our hero. We celebrate him for flying the flag wherever he went. And Sizaniboni Saba, he's worthy of that. So I really appreciate it because sometimes they are foolish about decide on J.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because here we have a Mampinja who got a funeral that was worth apparently millions.
Someone said
from the state.
Someone said
yeah.
Yes.
KwaZulu-Natal government denies paying 50 million for Mampinja's funeral. Oh, so it was also denied. So it says the KwaZulu-Natal provincial government has denied claims that it paid 50 million for the funeral of Mandla Mampinja Mapumulo. Mampinja of the hit group Big Nas died on Saturday 24, blah, 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 blah. So the state is basically denying.
But
No,
they
but
denying
they
50
paid.
millions, millions. As
Yeah.
well as
Someone said the difference between the Mampinja, may his soul rest in peace, and Kinnan was that Gauteng asked and KZN did their thing. They did not go and ask the president. They just did the thing. Like, oh man, let's do this and whatnot. And they did it. So with
I wonder, because I think I'm trying to remember other.
there's no criterion that you.
No,
really
I think
can-
that there is a protocol that you follow. Because Zamukumbula funerals that I was a part of, we had to wait for a response from the presidency.
Okay.
Yeah, but because it was a letter to the province, from the province to the presidency. and
Maybe
that
it's the
response.
timid provinces like the Eastern Cape.
They're not timid, Ngat.
No, we are
And
timid. about
Gauteng, are you saying Gauteng is
everything.
timid? By following protocol?
That guy was timid.
No, man. I just think KZN is they bullies.
They're rogue.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I feel that KZN understands the importance of embracing your own. We see this by how they do everything that has to do with their own people. They have izinto ezifana KZN Music Mbizo, where they say
That also is true, though.
apha we only cater for abantu artists alapha. When they do other projects, they deal with izinto zapha ne-artists zapha ePhondweni, which is thina.
Something that
We say buyela ekhaya. We say that. Sithi buyela ekhaya. But ekhaya we don't. Because when we have signature events like Ebubeleni and ubuyele ekhaya go December, I believe by now we should have been able to have a Joliza engavelanga mhlambi kwiposter kulo nyaka. He comes there 12 o'clock when the thing starts, he performs, mesmerize people, and then next year we are vela pa. It needs to grow the people who are coming from the province. Which is the same thing that they're dealing with Kutabecha now, where they feel that the anchor protagonist of the show cannot speak isiXhosa. Well, Gleivek is trending about imithembiso.
Oh, shame, man. And get shame, I have nothing against him, but to be wrong,
Imithembiso. But that thing is not live, it's pre-recorded. How was it kept? Yeah, how was it kept?
And I reference, because we did an episode where we spoke about Tuqebecha and where Utakim Noletu were talking about how we are hoping ukuba as our industry
We
grows,
can
we can
manipulate the
then get
situation.
our own people to tell our stories, because ngoku it shows that the script writer, the director, and most importantly, there's the person that continuity. They are not Xhosa people, and they don't know Xhosa language, and they don't know Xhosa culture. We don't have someone there. We're writing, editing, producing that actually knows the language completely.
But I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that.
Bayazama,
We took a friend of ours to audition for some upcoming TV production, and when they got the script, see in English, and we had to assist in the translation.
Yes.
And I had heard from another friend that actually Ikaska Gqeberha has translated.
Oh, okay.
So ezinye problems that was alapha.
Yes.
Because sometimes it doesn't matter that the actor akakwazi uthetha isiXhosa.
Okay.
But it matters that the script sakhe siyamdirector how to speak isiXhosa.
Okay.
And in particular, a dialect.
So we are lacking translators here.
And in particular, a dialect. Because so it's difficult.
No, for me, I'm going to protest so that I'm going to translate. At least there's someone who's a little
I must just put a note though. There's a girl there. I don't think you watch Gqeberha, right?
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't have a TV.
I know. I watch Gqeberha religiously because they've got a beautiful storyline. It's exciting too.
Because
it's got all the elements of a telenovela.
New Bright has been declared the murder capital of the Eastern Cape.
Oh God, I don't want to go there just yet.
Yeah, I'm saying so they're portraying that.
You know what I mean? Zitenders, but I think the one person that I just light up and get excited by a vela, the character Aspezi, Matilda. Ndicela ufake note phaza man. That we find time to speak to Aspezi.
Okay. Then
and have us because the finish
bar to Uhlumza as well.
The finish bar ikhona into eqalayo and eqala kamnandi pha kuMatilda ndiyamthanda. I do love Aspezi as a person and I respect how she respects every character that she plays. Okay. So
no, what do you mean every character that she plays? Is she playing different characters? Oh, I thought on Gqeberha.
No. Ndithetha ngecareer yakhe.
Oh, okay.
Mna mndirhubuluza pha ezantsi. Uqala kwam udibana naye wayeligqwirha kwenye iplay yase-after. She's an after graduate. Ndimgqibele i-lecturer ke, but I'm sure ngokuba esebenza kuGqeberha she's not lecturing anymore. I don't know.
She must lecture.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. So ndadibana naye lelo gqwirha ke. And then ndamcela azondenzela into estradweni. She's never.
I think that one. Hey,
we did
but
street
when
art.
You're wild, but you are wild. You subjected people who were coming from work to be part of your set in a taxi.
That was Sound Word, A Woman in Prayer.
Oh,
that's my production
that
for
was
16
beautiful.
days of activism.
I remember. I was in a taxi as well. It was a different taxi. And I had my headphones on.
Yeah.
So for me, it felt like...
Yeah,
because you used to go live. It was not a pre-recorded thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but so... I happened to be down. You remember the Athenian times where there was Wi-Fi and whatnot? We were always there. That was a very special time. MBDA must do something
for me,
about that.
It was reminding myself and others that art is for the people.
Yes.
We cannot always have art contained glamour holo. Yes, we must make money out of it. But whenever you get the opportunity, go to your audience and give them the message, because also that particular piece was created for 16 days of activism, that it travels with the people, that they carry on with that conversation. Hey, a performance at taxi. Do you know what I mean?
Uba uyayazi by performance.
Yes.
Because they might not recognize that this is a performance.
Yeah.
They might be like, hey, kusathi sikhwele eteksini.
Hey,
kwakho umuntu odandulukayo. Hey, ezanto bezithetha man.
Yeah.
You understand? And they say art must disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. Yeah, well, so I felt that what you did with that really bordered into that. It actually made that statement.
I think for me, because I've followed people like Erica Badu, I'm always trying to push the boundaries. Always trying. I'm going to gym tomorrow for a good body so I can walk naked and Imagine.
So I was talking about the thing of like I'll protest this guy so that I can be able to get there and translate and give them the dialect. But beyond that, because also you don't want when we talk about dialect, you don't want an old person speaking dialect.
Yes.
Because dialect is generational.
Yes, that's true.
But then you write kwakuse Magnum.
All right.
Yeah, at some point. When the 4x4 jazz or Onanseka or Dudley.
Oh, yes.
When they were doing Magnum.
All right.
And it was cool. Yeah, well, so you need to buy ifika umuntu omdala akwazi ukuthi akaloku mina ngwaseMagna.
Sure.
Angathi ngwaseblawa. Because akazothi ngwaseblawa. Umdala uzathi ngwaseMagna. Uzothetha ngeRio, athethe nezinye indawo ezazi key ngela xesha. But I need to protest. I don't need to try bands that protest a lot. It makes me think that shut down. National shutdown, EFF is spearheading this thing. It is getting oppositions from other people. And what they've told us is they're talking about the ailing economy. They're talking about job creation, and they are protesting against load shedding. You understand, which load shedding from our last episodes we have addressed that load shedding is a problem. And we've been
affected by load shedding.
Yes, especially with Dumza's episode. This is a problem that creates more other problems. You understand? So then, now you have the DA saying, we rally with our business people. EFF is being rogue. They want to disrupt business and whatnot. And you ask yourself, what business? Because this business is going to be disrupted by the load shedding that EFF is trying to oppose against. You understand? And other businesses as the affected land. And then you get a point where you see South African police, but it's a service now. It's no longer a South African police force. It's a service because it must service the people. Where you find that these people tires. There's tire outlets. They are collecting theirs. Amapolisa seqabeha and wazamanye across the Eastern Cape or across the country. Because bafuna kungasetyenziselwa amatayere to disrupt the flow of things and whatnot.
I think
abantu ababulawayo singabazi bakwenzeke ntoni kubo.
Mamel, I think abana kwento ye shutdown. I've got 2 points. Kwento ye shutdown. One is how the EFF is painted in the media. Or dinendo ethi bakhona bantu abanengqondo ethi if not the ANC then the EFF.
Okay. It's a black alternative.
Yes, and a lot of people that are aware of it are probably in the ANC.
Okay.
So what they've decided to do is to rubbish the EFF
as
the young, chaotic, barbaric
Bandwana.
abangenambeko.
Immaturity.
You find that in the media, iba ninzi focus on that over and above all the other things that the EFF possibly does. And ndijongile laa nto njeba ndiyayiobserva laa nto uba uthi naxa uncokola nomntu nje uba guys masivoteni athi umntu but who else can we vote for if not the ANC? Because nale EFF, the moment I said because nale EFF is because we are aware by the next best after ANC is EFF.
And also their understanding of the EFF is informed not by themselves, not by their observation, but by the narrative driven by the media.
Yes. Okwesibini, I want to touch on into ye-taxi associations.
Santaco.
Yes, we bumped into a letter ye-Santaco. Santaco will not be involved.
And I look for that letter.
Please look for it. Santaco will not be involved in the situation.
Yes. I think it was sent to the group.
It is in the group,
Yes.
My issue with the taxi association saying they're not going to be a part of this shutdown is that bona xa bedicidile ba baya strike baya doidoya kufuneka sonke sithokombe sithobele umthetho wabo singakwazi uphangela. And xa nisithi singakwazi uphangela, not that ayikho enye mode of transportation you can use, bakrwada enough to take people out of cars as private.
Yes.
Bakwata enough to block Ubers from functioning. Because if they can't function, nobody else can. Ngoku Inehau was on a strike. When Aban Benehau bevale indlela endaweni ethile, I think it was Department of Health, Bethelsdorp, ne? Yeah, Bethelsdorp.
Hey, I saw that
These
uncle
people,
not that Dondon.
They were threatening people with knives.
And I was like, why is this guy protesting these people's protest?
Because Galoku, his livelihood is more important than the livelihood of anybody else.
So this is the secretaries, Santaco provinces, South Africa. So they speak for everyone. This is 012, which is a son from Pretoria. He says, they don't give a fuck. It says the decision of Santaco on the national shutdown on 20th March 2023. So they say, following the meeting between Santaco and the leadership of the EFF, you are hereby advised that Santaco has decided that the taxi industry will not participate in the planned national shutdown. We urge all provinces to inform their respective regions and taxi associations that the 20th of March 2023 will be a normal operating day for the taxi industry. Regards, Daki Umbu, Secretary. You says taxi?
No, it's not Daki, that's Daki.
Designs as fig, ubizneleta.
No, I think that honestly
there's a point that
it's more a question than a point to you guys, but mostly to the public. Yokoba, the way I wanna get onto Leletu's point about how the EFF is perceived. First, before I get to my point, someone said on Facebook, I don't remember who it was, but they were pissed off at the fact that whenever there's an injustice, especially a racial injustice that happens in South Africa, people call on to the EFF to do something, and we believe in them in that regard. But when it comes to governance, all of a sudden we call them kids and all of these words that we call them. So why is it that we trust them to make a difference and make a change in terms of our everyday crises? Think the clicks situation, right? But when it comes to us voting for them and believing that they they have our best interest in heart. We don't want to do that. So now that leads to now my question, which I said I'm posing it to you guys to discuss, but also to the public. Uba, don't we think that the way that the media and all these public services, the way that they regard the EFF, is it not the same way that they regard youth in South Africa? Because if we think about it, the government doesn't know what we want. They haven't asked us what exactly do we need from them.
Oh, that's not Department of Women.
They just tell us.
Yes, I was going there.
God, that's not
I was going there. I was going there. The reshuffle. The reshuffle. So
Minister of Youth, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who is...
Guys,
She should be...
Wait. She's
She is
the Minister of Women, Youth, and Persons with...
The only thing she is, there is a woman. She's not disabled and she's not youth.
Well, she doesn't really have to have a disability.
But does she understand?
But disabled people
Does
said,
she understand what disabled people need?
I don't know.
She said, no, let me not say she's, the disability people said nothing about us without us.
Exactly.
Maybe the
To
ankles.
know the needs of
Maybe the
disabled. Does she
ankles.
think of a ramp when she
Maybe
goes to a mall?
Maybe the ankles.
Guys, wait.
No, the ankles. I think, no, guys, I think the ankles.
No,
No,
that's age. That's not disability. That's age.
no,
We are
the
all
ankles.
getting there.
She was not always there. But the
Imagine.
ankles now, no, yeah, the ankles usher her into disability. You understand? It's the ankles. No, guys.
Money, guys.
No, but the ankles, okay. She's a woman and she has the ankles. Yeah, there's one thing is,
Guys.
but also, no, guys, like I need us to be optimistic. They say, emaxhoseni andiyazi abanye abantu amaxhoseni mamela besides ukukuthandayo bathi the more ukhula the more uyawuba mncinci.
Yeah, man.
Masikena kubuzawuthini.
Guys.
So Matamela is justified.
I wanted to respond to Zamani Koti. Yes, I feel it's a reflection of how not even the country but just households treat young people. Because remember, I said lando yami yokuthi yogina ndibona as a small family.
Yes.
Kukholanda mos xa kuxoxa izinto zekhaya kuthi kuzodibana abantu bekhaya, but ufumanise uba the younger ones ababalwanga unless banemali enough to open their mouths.
Okay.
Sizawuthetha abantu abadala. Ufuna uqala ube breadwinner status. That's how you overcome youth. Yabona. But otherwise kuzosoloko kuthetha amaxhego nodaba
I want to be a flower
but you can't
winner.
really
I don't want to be a
but you can't really be involved. Yabona. So it is a reflection of how we see young people that abaqaqiqi ngokupheleleyo ingcinga zabo azibumbekanga. No, I get it. We do need their energy and everything, but I'm just answering your question that yes, it is a reflection of how young people are treated by society. As we are still not understanding ukuthi they've got value abayizisayo to the table. Right?
Not understanding that the Nelson Mandela that is praised and the
was on fire as a young person.
Ubantu Biko died at the age of 33. And then you had a thing about this thing. When we're talking about it, it's like it's a Jesus age. So you were still youth, according to the context, yes, of South Africa, at 34.
Yes.
So I think the youth, go to our freedom, Malik El-Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, aka Malcolm Little, he says in Dobangabana, freedom is never given. It's taken.
Yeah.
I think we as the youth this day, we think freedom is given. That's why when something is happening, we go to social media.
And that's why we also look, at people like Coach Julius to say, bakwata ntoni kanti they taking them.
There was a national shutdown that was scheduled at some point, I think a year or two back. He had offices on Twitter. Never materialized because people think social media
As
is
the
the
be all and
thing.
end all.
Yes.
Yes.
They
So
think
I do want to go to into Nkosazana. Yabo. Ndiyafuna ke ukutsho outright that I do not agree with her being set up as the Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. Qha bendifenda nje. And yabuza abantu yabona ustrong kule
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
the only thing she is a woman. I'm like, wait, guys.
No,
But also at the same time, it doesn't need to be that the person, the political head of a department, that's how it happens, does not directly correlate with what is.
Yes.
I think most importantly is the officials that work in the space, is the decisions that she makes to enable that department to benefit young people, to benefit women, and to benefit
and to
persons
function
with disabilities,
effectively.
to function effectively to the beneficiation of those people. So I think I can't do way to, but I also feel she's too old for the space. Any department really. Ebenohlala phansi ngoku. Ebenokhazole. Allow if young and fresh minds to come into the space and work. Akanawukwazi uba yi-perpetual politician. Makahlale phansi man ngoku. People pension. Why thina politics singayenzi loo nto? Uyayibona laa nto? So I just wanted to comment on that and quickly run off to our Minister of Arts and Culture.
Yima. Uzamani Konda funa uyithetha.
Okay. Let's carry on.
I hear you, Mamane, in terms of amava. Yabo. But I am sorry, gatekeeper, but I'm gonna use you as an example. Right? So usually when you conduct, especially informal workshops, what you usually do, you ask people a question or you pose a statement or thought, and then you ask them and then they respond and then you tell them what you are thinking about that as the mentor, as the elder in the room. You don't get there and tell them what they're supposed to think, what they need, what they're supposed to do, because you can't know what people need unless you have a conversation with them. Yes. So now, shouldn't it be at least someone, I think I said this before when we were brainstorming this topic, but even if it's someone that's older, should it not be at least someone in their 40s? Because even though they are not youth, but they are close enough to be at least able to listen to the noise.
Kahle zamani mntanam uthi wena mabathathe uPoetic Soul. Minister of Women.
Yes, and you.
And persons with disabilities.
Please, because she's a woman.
Yini nabe
She's youth.
baba.
And she has a disability. Please.
Makuthathwe mna yoba yiminister ye-women, youth, and persons with disabilities.
Yes, it makes sense.
You're
already a gatekeeper.
Do you know 2 out of 3? Yebona the gatekeeper ke ngoku ngamandla.
Sifuna.
No, but honestly.
No, but I hear you.
There was even a ghost account when you were declared a
they couldn't say it with their chest.
gatekeeper.
They couldn't say it with their chest. So what I was saying, Dakim, is that even if it's someone that's, because if we are thinking of as someone that's going to be a mentor to the youth, should it not be someone that's close
to the youth?
So that at least, because umntwana 40, nobody yamdiga tina, but they have the ear to listen.
During COVID.
It's saliva. You put the saliva. Yeah, you put the saliva.
They put the saliva on the paper and then they smoke that all.
No, but guys, it makes sense because it's wrong with saliva. It was kind of COVID. Look, Ebona, see. Look, mna beyond into bangabana sinikwe la makatha for inantsik I minister of youth. Yeah. Beyond that, now you have, and South Africa, it's not like other places where you have this one person that's lifted up. Uba lona ngulelethu, this is what she has done, this is what she's involved in, and. Yabo? When it comes to indaba community development and whatnot. So therefore we want Yena for a presidency because une track record. Tina, we are a party political state. Yeah,
but we'll talk about it another time.
We have a party political state. So now we have a party that's heading the state, which is the African National Congress, yabo, ANC. Then mna xana ndibona kusithiwa Minister of the Youth okanye okokuqala of disabilities, in all the people abakhoyo apha South Africa nababengcwelerheke ngelaa xesha le-apartheid, who are now people who are living with a disability, ingaba, is there none of them who is capable? Yeah, but who is capable of running? Because we've never had a disabled, according to my understanding of politics, which is limited, who is a public representative. Someone who on a wheelchair, someone who ngaboniyo, someone ongevayo, but they were part of the struggle back then. I find it very rare that none of that has happened. And next to that, you have a body of the leading or the ruling party, a women's league, and also it has a president who is not Umama Nkosazana. And then you also have a youth league that had Oros Ugqibela Kwam, who was 40 years, and then the youth 35, Ziek as a flaws, as Balekang. But does the ANC acknowledge and say to us, as the African National Congress, we don't have a future? We do not have capable young people within our organization that can carry the torch forward. Is them acknowledging without them saying a word about it. Think about it.
I am.
Because ayibalekanga olhlobo benza ngayo into bangabana, all the people who are custodians, people who are talking about a future, who are engaged in these conversations about the future of our country, are not people who would be in our future. You understand? 20 years from now,
Guys need it.
most of this Utaiga, who was a mineral Ndondon of us, Utaiga, Balutat, Balutat Ukwede. Yes. Yeah, he's a tiger. He was called a tiger. He's a tiger in bed. Yeah. Nah, he's a tiger in bed. Yeah, he's a cesspool. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they will not be here in the 20, 30 years to come. And they are planning that. And they are sidelining any and everyone who will be part of that future. You understand? And the thing that we're talking about is the national strike. And I feel that the people and the party that's leading that is the EFF right now. And I feel as is justified. Yeah. They're justified. We need indobangabana si nansike kuthiwa intoland. We talk about this.
Yeah.
If we are a country that has politicians, scientists, teachers, and everyone, all these things as Tetangazo needs to be incorporated in all of this. Yabo, in so many years, I've watched a documentary that was it's a documentary ngeyase Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
EBrazil bathetha ngento yoba they've identified very early that fossil fuel or the fuel as we get it from the ground in so many years to come is not going to be sustainable. Therefore, we need to find alternatives. So they started because they're the biggest producers of okay, because they are the biggest producers. Ayibambe man, uzokwazi uthetha leyo. Hayi makayibambe masibambe saphinda simove. Qala ukuzawunanseka. Benibabini kaloku ndindedwa. Okay. Uzabona uzana. Because we are the biggest producers, because they were the biggest producers in nanseka zabo zeswekile and whatnot. So that means baba namazele, kuthiwa ngamazele zazinto that you are able to use after ugqibile ukuzisebenzisa. Then you are able from the plants ezibunazo to generate a fuel, bio oil from them that can be used to fuel cars. You understand? They identified that very early. So what they've done throughout the years, they have assigned scientists to actually work on that thing, to actually go out and find out in Dobangamana, what is it that we can be able to do uba sikwazi at a certain age in Dobangabana, sikwazi first and foremost provide nge-bio oil so that we have sustainable energy. Engazo contributor to what we call the erosion of the ozone layer. That's not going to, but what they've realized is that with the land mass that they have as Brazil, it's not going to be enough to serve the whole world. Bona, they can be able to live off that thing. They can provide the world with sugar and all these things and provide themselves with bio oil or bio energy. But they cannot provide the whole world. Tina is South Africa. 29 years later, we don't have a car that is South African. We don't have, there was a phone that is South African because...
Which one?
Dilibele man, Casper where's by ambassador yayo. So we don't have izinto that are South African. You must understand, people will speak about Hitler. We speak against the Holocaust and all of these things. We speak against that thing. But Hitler said, you cannot have many people in the streets that say America driving cars more than us, as if now we are inadequate. As a result, he created something called folks or people's cars, Volkswagen, which is in their culture, it means people's cars. So he took Porsche, which is the creator of Porsche, to say, now create...
Sorry, Porsche, like a Porsche.
That guy was called Porsche. He's Porsche.
And the car is called
Porsche. We say Porsche.
Just call it Porsche.
It's Porsche.
It's like Nike and Nike. In South Africa, we say Nike.
Yeah, well. So Porsche, So Porsche said, I know they send us designs as in G. So that's where the Beetle was born. It must be a car that serves the people of the country, that people are able to drive in a very economic way. You understand? So that as in the greater scheme of things. As South Africa, it is if we got into the democratic South Africa without a plan. In the 30 years, we don't have something that we call our own. And funu betha ngoku i-brands ezikhona zeteki ezikhona apha.
Now since we're China.
Exactly.
You don't have an original design.
Then capitalist nigga.
Yes.
That's the
Or
overriding
on a kachu.
narrative, yeah, that we don't create, we consume as a people. And today, as I was driving here, my brother says to me, like in his typical, business mind,
He must get
person.
us. He must get us things that
Yeah,
one.
he
Hey,
says
this
to
one.
me, but he says to me,
Need
hey,
cameras.
I'm realizing that South Africans don't own shit.
Yes.
I went to a property, Strand, and it's owned by a guy from Saudi Arabia. Then I go to another property, it's owned by somebody from Nigeria. And then the South Africans don't have anything of their own, as simple as land.
But it's their own land.
Okay.
So before I get into the point, me and my context, when I was looking for a place in 2019, I was moving out of Ires as a Costin, and I wanted to go to
Costin.
Costin because I didn't know PE.
It's Mogadishu.
Because I didn't know PE. So that's what they do when you don't have a place and they know that you're not from here. They send you to the spaces that are not very lifestyle-y because you don't know the area. So a point where I knew about Ikram Yase PE on that day because I was asking about Ikostin, and everyone that I asked is like, bruh, don't show people that you don't know where you're going because then that makes you vulnerable, and then anyone can just, because they know about you're vulnerable. So what I realized then is that most of the properties, and this broke my heart, I'll get to that. Most of the properties in Summerstrand in PE are owned by Asian country people. I don't want to say Chinese, but like it's like Asian country people. And for me, it was painful because so what happens is there's people that pay fees from their parents' pockets, right? And then there's people that have NSFAS. Usually, the people that stay in Humwood and Summerstrand are people who have parents that can afford their livelihood, that they're paying for their fees and they're paying for their accommodation. Now, what pained my heart is that in South Africa, those people don't really have money. They are just middle class people. That means imali middle class citizens in South Africa goes to Asian countries and not South Africa. Yeah, bo. And so now, this brings me to the point that I wanted to make. Wait, what were you talking about? Now I'm consumed in my pain.
We spoke about many things,
about
and then you
ownership of
said
things, that South
yes.
Africans don't own anything.
Oh, what I was coming to is, first, we must acknowledge the fact that the South African government, coming from 1994, because I was thinking about xenophobia when you guys were talking.
No plan.
When you guys were talking, I was thinking about xenophobia, ne? And how Tina were like, oh, you guys are coming here to take our things because Tina we are better than you. Go back to Don. And we are not realizing, Guba, as Black South Africans in the new democratic government, we haven't built anything new. Our democracy, our infrastructure, everything has been, we got into someone else's shoes.
I said this at some point that we are here at 2023 and our schools in the township have seen no improvement.
Because we are just walking on the apathetic shoes. We haven't really built anything that works and speaks to us personally as the Black South Africans.
Guys, there's a next to Alcoa Pastipol. There's a Konyikala Oko Ikati yenziwe. They vandalized it, and Konyikala it was as a I don't know what they call this one, botanical whatnot, as Anders Kula ending. They've demolished that. I feel in that space, I would love to create an art school for our Black kids. Where if there is a poetic soul that is based in Johannesburg that comes through, they can come and they will give motivational and talks and whatnot and talk about how they made it. where workshops would be thing of, and everyone that is seen to have an artistic and sports ability would be taught in that school. You understand? So that when they grow up knowing what their purpose is. But our education is still the education le yababantu bakudala. As South Africa, we are failing. We have failed to give abantu bakuthi an adequate weight forward. Man bonke mos iTiger nobani bonke nabantwana babo banazo ifama. It's fine, but how about the growth of the country as a whole?
I feel like when atakim kulendu tetayo
Wasabarobha xa singenazinto thina.
It goes to lendo teta goba as is golo. I feel like it would even speak to homeless people, addicts, those people that are seen as black ships. They would have a place to go to, because those people are not black ships because they are. They are because we don't, in our families, in our immediate families, we don't understand them. But if that was the case, they would have a place where Dizoya pa Ephondweni school and pa Nzofike Nthetho nobanibani, and they're going to yabo utamaki pa uzon understand ba mnandifuna ukuthi the things that most of our parents don't understand, because our education system was built to make us able to work for people, not to actually groom our own selves and our own skills and talents. And so all of those people would go to that school, but okay, anakaya ngoku anamntu ndizothetha naye, let me go to that school and speak to them and see what I can do for myself, because most homeless children just need someone to listen to.
I think there's one thing that's ringing in my head.
Do you feel for her?
It's an interview. Between Penuel and Vusithambi kwayo.
Okay.
Ndingumntu ke mos bengenaxesha lakaVusithambi kwayo. But I love podcasts because podcasts, they expose us to the true essence of being. So ndimamele le interview, ndimamele uVusi esithi, ndimamele ntitha about how the gardens were demolished and the botanical gardens were also demolished. And I'm recalling him saying, that's the success of apartheid. Success of apartheid is ensuring that black people see nobody else as worthy of having. That the demise of one black leader is in the hands of another black person. Right? The bankruptcy of one black business is in the hands of a black people.
Yes.
And that's the success.
Asithandani.
So yeah, this thing keeps ringing in my head. Hey, that is the truth, is that self-hatred is a success of life.
And we have petty politicians like Umakoti Weti Unansiku Helen.
Utinlo.
She doesn't like how the pictures Beyonce of politics.
Helen.
She's not a rock star. She's not a model. Why must we care how she looks in the media?
No, look, my thing is, if Helen Ebesiti, you misquoted me.
But
if Helen said, that's understandable. But for Helen to come and say, why are you using this picture? You are spreading propaganda. Helen, hi man, Helen, you are in a wrong, Nancy.
A person that's been spreading propaganda about black leaders.
No, but
for
Helen is in a wrong
time.
career, man. She was a journalist.
South Africa's next top model. Because I forgot the right pictures. In Magaya modeling agency, Enzele portfolio, I forget pictures I can.
I'm not saying Times. I'm not saying Times Live is fair. I'm not saying times lines is fair.
But we don't want to spend time on it.
Talking about pictures, guys.
We don't want to spend time on that. I do want us to spend time on our Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. God damn it. We need to talk
Which
about
one?
this.
Which one?
That was easy.
No, no.
The
dancing one is the
popular. President Ukona, I've just arrived. I've just
is the
arrived.
dancing minister.
No, the dancing
No, that's
minister
not
is
the
the
Minister of
electricity
Electricity.
one. No, but
Sports, arts and culture.
No,
We
but-
have an experience.
okay. Okay, now we are going. Okay, now we are going to Zizi God. God was this?
Oh, God.
God was this? Yeah, we are going there, ne?
Yeah.
But now let's talk about the outgoing or the went. Is it the
the
went?
went.
The went one.
Yeah.
Hey, umthetho. Umthetho wenze ntoni man? Nike imali abantu baphandwayo ngoku ne?
Wait, are we talking about
Ah, no, we are not. We are talking
I'm
about.
talking about the lotto now.
No, it isn't Umthetho who gave Ababa Banjwa. It's the lottery that gave Ababa Banjwa.
No, but
If we're to focus on Umthetho,
but I think
there
umthetho.
is a pending case at Dibene and by orchestra or what people that are associated with him, Abasa NAC, and it's a lot.
I think
But I think Inita J research on its own.
I think more than anything, umthetho was the minister of condolences.
Shame he did that well.
Yeah, that's if there was one thing
He
that
did that well.
xa ubuya uyokwenza le nto bengakusapotanga kuyo, he will make sure that you get a blast when you come back to airport. He will hire a crowd. He was exceptional in that thing. He will receive you. You are coming from Robben Island to represent us in a national Robben Island Awards in their Nansika.
Sorry, Takim, was he representative or charismatic?
No. Yena, he knew how to throw a party.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't characterize him as charismatic.
He knew
But
how to throw a party.
I do want to say that
Mr. Party.
he killed me at the flag.
Okay.
Do you remember the
You
flag?
wanted to make a statement. 22 million, right?
Yeah, he killed me at the flag, and I'm
But
glad
it was
the
very
Abba canned
late.
that project,
Yeah.
right?
But they
The
paid the
project that
people
canned.
almost.
My God, I don't want to go in there. But he killed me there. He
Remember when he was here, Nangoza Chebe? I think you were there.
What did he
We
say
were
there?
He said a lot of sweet nothings.
I probably left early.
Yeah, he said a lot of sweet nothings,
Because
and
Jazongwana
and
in
then
his
Tina, we
speech.
were.
I
we
mean,
were
he's the same
asked-
guy who
He-
asked
he-
around. Enikezele ispeech esinjani ngotata Winston John waphinda wabuza yena ngubani kanene yena.
Mteto's National Orchestra gets 54M.
That's the case I was talking about.
Okay. Okay. As subscribe apa kule ndawo zafunda kuyo. Ooh. Yes, but then look, I don't think ikhona into ebalulekileyo wakhe wayenza unathi Mthetho. Besides ukunansika ukusamkela xa sivela kwezi ndawo
But let's
sisuka
talk about the
kuzo.
new one now.
The new
Sinethemba
one
elingakanani?
go
Uzizi Kodwa.
my interaction with Uzizi Kodwa was at the place that is now called
Mandela Bay Theatre
Mandela Bay Theatre Complex. At the time, it was called a
Opera House.
opera house, and at that time, myself, Poetic Soul, and Tandile Pechwa
That's the song with that kid.
were
Wangehlisa.
were
Mane sithi yehla masikhosana.
Where-
Yehla masikhosana. Ndiqomba, hey lekahlela lekahlela.
were Inansika were enemies of the state at the time. Well, every article that came with art were always quoted. He told us shit.
Ndakhuluma ukuthi ngo-Beyonce, Baba
No,
Uzizi
Uzizi Kodwa told us shit. Uzizi Kodwa, he came in, he was a spokesperson of the ANC. He came in and
He
said,
had just arrived.
he said, in the Bangabana, Nina, this, let me give you the context. So here we are called as artists. We are trying to create an organization that was to be called the Nelson Mandela Bay Arts Council. So we had different people who've roped in, abantu abaninzi kule nto. So now apha sibizelwa yena kuziwa kwi-elections, because elections
Sorry,
zii-municipal
Takim, is
elections.
this what is now called BCC? Is that the beginning?
No,
of
no,
BCC?
no.
It's
Nah,
not.
long before. Now there was in the Bangabana. So now apha kuzawubakho i-municipal elections. So
And also we
kuthathwe
have the arts
kuthathwe
cultural
unansi,
festival, ne?
yes,
Coming up here.
kuthathwe ubhala bhuti webhola uDanny Jordan to come and serve as a mayor, because they felt he had a national footprint. Therefore, people from here will warm up because they've seen him on TV so many times. Because they look at the Eastern Cape as a rural shit and we're backward in thinking. Fine. So we are called, and they are hoping that we are going to support this endeavor for Inansika EANC. It made sense at the time because EFF did not have a mouthpiece in the Eastern Cape. We always knew about Juju and them. It was national. So here, EFF had no face. So instead of dividing the vote between black and white, let's put it in a black pocket. Okay, we are entertaining this idea. Asikathi basigqibe ntoni now, we are just entertaining the idea. So uzisiwe ke ngokuyena to drive this thing home, uzizi kagodo. Now he tells us how we could benefit from this thing. And he says, because we lack, because mentally we are behind, xa ufika KZN obani baqhuba imoto ezikhutshwayo laa ntente ihle apho uvele ubethwe ngumoya isisilahla mos xa siyithetha and whatnot, and Beyonce, and those guys in KZN, they live like a Beyonce and whatnot. And I was pissed off. And Poetic Soul, Lilith was pissed off. Now this guy is being taken and been given the national office. Do I, as Yakim, has confidence on him? I engaged him, and what I expected after that meeting is to call Uleletu, Utandile Petra, and myself in the little corner, and we talk about this shit that could help him. Because at that time we could mobilize artists. That's why I see Valile office yasenance again. Yakwamasipala abantu bafumana imali zoyirhini. Uyabo? So now he's gonna be the head. Do you have confidence?
Honestly, I do not know. I am confident it must be built up.
And I think he has a proper.
Yeah.
Leletu believes in herself. That's it.
I saw him in a soccer game.
No, I think that Indaba Gazizigota and Indaba of any new minister for me is always you just need to watch a bit, Yabana. But what I fear kakhulu, already we know we've read up on the lifestyle of the person. I'm scared of the associations Zake being in the forefront of beneficiation and I'm scared of that. But I hope that Ezinyizindo will continue happening with it, because it doesn't look all that bleak in the arts sector. But with the new person coming in on a personality, vivacious and
what does vivacious mean?
Oh,
no, I genuinely don't know.
In case everyone is wondering, Yakim, the sister Leletu are always fighting about language. Vivacious.
No, I'm thinking Viva.
So like,
no, but I want to ask something.
She always says she's asking, but she says something.
It's a question. It's my thinking, right? But it's also because I know that I can't just conclude on things. Yeah? So I'm thinking it, but I'm also asking. are we now attacking the criterion which our ministers are elected or put into to their positions? Because the thing is,
I don't think
I'm not
anything.
questioning.
I
the
don't think
criteria.
anything that we say on the podcast is a protest. I don't
not
think
protest,
no
just
no
like
no no no.
asking.
Okay, let me kaloku badala thina xa sithetha ne siba ne preamble.
Whoa.
Yeah, was siba ne preamble.
And now Penny
Yeah.
cameras that
Yeah, well, so I don't think any issue that we raise on the podcast is for us wanting to shine. I think or also wanting to fight anything. It's us trying to understand. It's like honest conversations of the common man. You understand? Because these are conversations that we will normally have outside the whatnot. But what we are saying is it moved from Indo Yoba Ben City. I-ANC isibonsile okanye isibonisa izinto ezininzi ezifana nantoni, ezifana nento yoba you have a women's league and you have a youth league, but whenever you want to put people on a national scale and do things, you don't consider these portfolios or other structures that you have. So for these people to say into bangabana, Uleletu even said city, ingaba bathi the political party does not have a future. Noba uBudrengo umzekelo utata wale chap ibiculela ngoma singayazi ibithe thini Gqeberha, uba that guy is arts and culture. Noba akakwazi articulate eParliamente, but he knows the struggles of the artists. He's lived through it. And then EFF puts him in that portfolio. Why has the ANC having people like Abo Miriam Makeba, people like Abo the late Nansika, the Balotata Stimela guy, the one who had a song that says Stimela. Prahu. And Lotata Chula Ingoma Zetoy, Uplondi, and whatnot. And all those people who have been artistic, they're lucky tubers of this world and whatnot. When you came in, when you drafted your white paper of 1996, which was the first progressive attempt to address the artistic things of Amantabamnyama, you've never considered these guys to be part of this thing. When these guys made sure, when you look at the African jazz pioneers, when they sang songs, they sang like they're singing for a chick, but they were talking about political issues. You've never in all of those people
I think
saw.
for him, what it will go down to is the freedom fighter is not the government. And therefore, perhaps there might be a similar thing of the artist.
In Cuba, can we use Cuba as a precursor to what you are saying? Who was one of the freedom fighters? When he got in there, wasn't he able to do some of the things that they've discussed?
I
and
guess,
made it a
but
progressive state?
Data more on a general scale. Ukuthi how much I totally understood when we put Utabumeki in as president.
Yes.
Because perhaps we spend time training him to do that. But if I'm just gonna put an ordinary Keda, maybe MK, yeah, question. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I feel like the ministerial things.
I think I don't think all is lost. If we understand and see that.
And also, man, go about practical, go about technical.
Yeah, I wanna go there.
So sometimes, Nyani, the minister, does not need to necessarily be a person who, because I brainstorm some of my things with my brother, who's not necessarily artistic. Do you understand? And he would advise me on how to shape shift it ifithe le nto ifunekayo. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the mind at the top needs to just be a versatile mind, an intellectual person who can apply their mind to whatever situation.
Yes.
And then into ilapha na official and ngiyabulala ke ngoku.
Sorry.
Ngiyabulala. Yeah, mazikhutshozwa ngesibulawe mntanam. So that for me is
A
it.
typical black mom.
Uyandifumana Yakim?
Typical.
Let's not expect that every minister, we can't expect that the minister of education is going to be a teacher. But we must expect that Gumdu on an intellect enough.
That will bring quality to
Thank
everything.
you.
Ima, look, I don't know the guy, ne? I don't know. Yes, because you paid for it. Look, was my executive producer of the Nansik, of the what you call this of the saloon, yeah. Because the executive producer is the guy who brings in Nansik into the thing. Yeah, well, look, I'm trying to search something here. I wrote minister. You know what's on top? Minister of Electricity.
Oh man.
And this guy is gonna pay a brand. I call him the dancing minister because I saw a thing where he where he was dancing. He was having fun really. Because at the time he didn't know that he's gonna be a minister. Even in fact, if he knew, it doesn't mean in the Bangabana he's not gonna dance. Yeah, well, so this guy is called Josietso Ramogopa.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the Minister of Electricity. And I think for him to be a Minister of Electricity is a catch-22. Yeah, but in that he's in between the hard place and the rock. Ngoba, now, do you want to keep your job or do you want to be effective in your job? What's more important to you?
For
to
me
keep your
personally-
job, yes.
For me personally, I want
To
to be
keep your
effective.
job or effective in your job.
I want to be effective.
I think that's what he's dealing with. You are the Minister of Electricity. Your mandate is to curb is to curb load shedding. Yabo? Ugosietso Ramagopa. He must go there and curb the way. Ingaba if he has curbed the way, ingaba uzawuyeka na ukuba inansika by the way or not, because a lot of savings are paid. He said, the Minister of Electricity said he's confident that they will reduce the intensity and regularity of load shedding. As far as he has spoken now to the public, he has not said, I am going to end load shedding. I love that.
Yeah.
It's realistic. But abantu bathi wena ungayenza ba ijob yakho iphela.
You wouldn't.
He's here to end load shedding.
But
Abangazityela
he's
ijob.
just going to limit load shedding. That's what he's promised.
You understand? I don't know the guy. I've never followed him. Some guy on Twitter challenger about who he is and what he has done. And that guy, in terms of accolades, academically, was Leicester. He seems like a learned guy. And as I've heard him speak, he seems like a very sober guy and whatnot. Let's give him a chance.
Just
But
like
I
giving
feel
people a
that,
chance.
hey, bambeka kuwei abazamnansik, abamvalayo, bayamvalela. You understand? So but it's not all gloom and it's not all gloom and doom or doom and gloom in the country.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw something called Conala stores, and I was so
Franchisees Bazaar shop.
yeah, something like that. It's a franchisee, but when I as Poetic Stole Spaza Shop, you have full ownership of your shit. But for identity and for someone who's coming from Johannesburg, Limpopo, Cape Town, and whatnot, who have dealt with Conala, I figure up Ebona Utawakal or Conala, they recognize Conala.
Vanilla, sure.
They'll go there.
I feel it. I like that we've learned from the Somalians.
Yeah, because most of the time we want to fight. laa nto bibuzwa into yoba kuthiwa hey nithi foreigners zithatha ii-jobs zethu ntoni, and then the question was posed, can you enlarge your penis?
Whoa!
Yeah, well, so I feel that thing, as soon as we get someone from the Eastern Cape or Ekabecha who understands the formula and how Konala works, we should be able to bring them.
I want to check that.
And we talk. They have a website.
I want to check.
They have a website. It's fully functional. It's dope, you know, because what they're saying is when we go out and buy stuff, when we find chicken livers E4, or we find a soup pack, or we find and you find in, that becomes one order. In that way, we are able to get what we call discounts.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I think this
Konala?
Yeah, it's Konala local stores.
Local stores. I'm going to check
I understand. It's a national thing that I think we have a duty to support.
Yeah, no, I'm going to check on it.
You understand? As soon as a Konala, because where I'm from, it's only one store. It's the coolest icon. Glolombi. Glolombi, and Glolombi utenga festirena or whatever. Wasweleka utamkhulu. Probably people who are coming will not be as enthusiastic. Umzekelo uvanji. There was Nobulali, Quick Spa, a man, the kids felt in when there are bigger businesses that they need to attend to, then therefore they closed the retail part of the business and they continued with other business. They didn't lose money, but legacy was lost.
Yeah. No, I want to check out the Konala.
Yeah, well, so I feel that all of us, we should check that out. And if we know
what happened?
Usuka kwethu enansikeni eDonqaba.
Yeah, King continues like nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened really.
Nothing? Okay, it's all right.
Funeka beyivulile laa nto bayibeke kakuhle ithi cha uyivuleni le nto mayingavalwa phaa. Yabo. So eDonqaba, there was a hotel that was owned by a black person, and there was Yavala. Yabo, it's a hotel, there was a tavern at some point, but Yavala. So now you have the biggest spot ethengisa kuthiwa yintoni the alcohol paa being owned by a foreign national. The biggest space that sells food is being owned by a foreign national. There is a place that sells both alcohol and food that is owned by the local man. That's the only one. Yabo. In most rural spaces, you find the guys from outside owning. They're selling alcohol, they're selling food, and they're selling all of these things.
Yeah.
You understand? And I feel that as South Africans, we need to be able to get into a space where we're able to own something. After 29 years.
Just quickly, let's run through the lottery situation. What's going on there?
Someone from Kabecha won.
No, man, I'm talking about the houses that are being sold. I'm talking about the criminality that's going on there. Some people are trying to cry.
Look, SIU, I'm going to say this before I continue. I'll be weary if, because next year is 2024, and we're going to have national elections. And we have had big cases in the governance as Fanano Tatumkize, Tataka Nomalanga. Nomalanga, unkosikazi walo mfana aphe nanskin Makanda. Where kuthiwa yintoni like power station.
Okay.
Implicated kwizinto ezifana nendoba Kumali that was eaten and whatnot. Yeah, no. Governance wise.
Okay.
Ministers. So I'm weary of what this happened because Banpeto, Terry girl,
Terpetu is.
yes, and
The
then
house
you
got
have
sold, right?
no one came to buy the house.
Nobody could buy it.
No one wanted to buy the house
Wow.
because maybe she's connected like that. And then you have who's the crying guy? Who's the crying guy? Was the guy? Yeah, the guy who was unable to cry. Yes, Arthur. Yeah, no, he wanted to cry, but he could not cry. No, the house was put there for 4 million, and then no one wanted to buy for that price, and it kept going down. And I think as far as we are shooting now, the house has not been sold yet. I think it was on 2.5 or 2 million. No one is going to buy that house.
Why?
Because if this case wins, there are more other cases that are going to pop up. And it's going to implicate everyone in that space. Because lottery has been like that. There are cases here in Kabeja of someone living in the house that was bought by lottery money. Why?
You know, because I don't know who it is, Joyika. We didn't discuss that before. My worry is
Look, there's a beer floating all
these behavioral patterns, Yakim.
Oh, it's
Zikala
yeah.
very early. Zikala funding that's as simple as funding municipality grant funding. And people see it fit to go to 40,000. Let me just go quickly to tell you, they're implementing it in.
And then
those behavioral patterns.
And then they are unable
when
to
you
report
get money.
back.
And I keep saying to anybody who's gonna apply in the future, what the government is trying to do when they give you funding is to bring service delivery closest to the people. They are trusting that you will take that money and serve the people.
Because they can't be everywhere.
Thank you. Whereas ba iyakwazi kumntu honest. Iyakwazi ba i-project iphele iphokozela kwimali yakhe project management. If they really committed to the idea and the concept and the understanding that le mali is not yours, that money is for the people.
Yes.
We will never have people in government governing properly until we understand that this shit is for the people.
And also, if we say fuck the government and how they're using funds, when we get funding, we need to show them. We need to show them
guys,
this is the shit
ridiculous.
that you guys need to do.
This is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
A friend of
unfortunately,
mine went to a performance, and when they got to the performance, to someone or Sound of Money funding, when they got there, this nigga had a new car. It didn't even have.
It's what I'm saying.
It didn't even have e-plates.
This is what I am saying. We cannot complain about corruption when we're going to go back and be corrupt in our own households.
Yes.
It is rubbish to expect that somebody above you will act better than you can act.
Yes.
The moment you apply and you say, I'm going to employ 35 people, God damn it, employ 35 people. Do the right thing and serve the people. Black consciousness and but I do not think that it is fair for us to use black people's names and numbers and act like we didn't. And I believe money follows money, and I am money. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. I am money. Money will follow me wherever I go, for as long as I'm able to open my hands and give the money out.
Fuck, let the money follow us like the banana followed that Nigerian guy.
I can attest to what Ule
Who's
is
that
saying.
Nigerian guy? Who's that Nigerian guy was followed by the banana?
Banana follow me.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I can attest to this with Uletu's
frustrates me.
There's a thing that she taught me because she started to work with me before umyalezo. Yabo. She started mentoring me before Umyalezo. And the first thing she said to me is that, Mnazamani, when I get money, I want to make sure that the project that I create or I want to show to the people, given the money for it, I want the people to not know how much I was given to do this project. And I've seen that in action with Umyalezo Poetry. People will not believe us when we tell them how much money we had for it, looking at the quality that we produced.
Do you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? You know why she does that? There's impact people. There's impact people who are purpose driven, who want the purpose to leave. I had a conversation with Ubantu yesterday or 2 days, and I was saying there's something I was losing. And being back home and seeing how Uleza and Ubantu work, I was like, fuck, this is what we were doing from the beginning. But because you get pressures as Ukula, it's easier for you to lose that because we are Funuba Indota. You understand? You want to be seen family yako so that ukwazi uthetha xa kukho family meetings and shit like that. But creating work that outlives you, intention is very important. To Lele, to and everyone. And it is a very volatile space to venture into because kubanda ba close kuwe ingata ukhathali because you get money.
And people don't understand.
But the money you always you take it out.
It doesn't belong to me.
You take it out again, Lemali. Because you understand that if I can create 5 more of me, then that means 10 more of us can live. And then from that 10, you understand?
To my soul. Just yesterday, I wrote a status that Uputbantu responded to, and I said, to find people that choose to younger sister the shit out of your dreams. And then I said, thank you, Leletu, thank you, Bantu, because they have plugged me into opportunities that they are also contenders in those opportunities, but they are plugging me because they are not competing with me. They want me to succeed as much as they want themselves to succeed. And they know that if I win, then I win. If I don't, then I don't. Literally, like Umyalezo, the Umyalezo project, when we're applying to the NAC, she was helping me apply for All Strings Attached.
The first time,
same time as we're applying for Umyalezo.
The first time I sat in a boardroom at the SABC was through her. The first time I sat in a boardroom in a corporate space, it was through Nkuluwa. CAA KPMG. He was there wearing a pink shirt. He was told, I beetroot.
Beetroot?
Beetroot.
The root of the beet.
Beetroots.
And that's why my brother is my hero, because my brother, as much as he was
didn't need
into
to do
it,
that.
yes,
that motherfucker. Look, Mamela Zaman Galoku Buzil. That motherfucker locked us in a room. Locked us in a room. Dim, go have. You get well. He's a fighter. Motherfucker, you fighter. I see you. He locked us in a room. He's fighting. He locked us in a room, Dim, Ohave, and Prince. He gave us a beat from an international person, Divided Souls. Apha kule room, he went nefro yakhe, ngoba besahlala eCentral.
Yeah.
And they came back, we had a song. We had a song. I only heard that song for the first and last time. Slice. Because babesebenza ngola hlobo zabo bantu singayazi. So these are people who've been with us.
Yeah.
And people who are working.
You know,
Ezinye izinto funeka ukwazi uzincancebeleni, ezinye izinto funeka ukwazi uzi-emulate. Lando does not testify of the greatness kaLelethu. Lando does not testify of the greatness kaSifiwe. That thing testify of the parenting that they got. You understand? Because that's how we got to sit on our first Nancy Kapa, because we had them. Parents need to be able to shield you, protect you, and guide you and propel you to the best version of yourself. Hence, I was sad when I saw a TikTok video of a guy who speaks his Xhosa very
Don't
well.
say guy, say dad.
Of a guy, I'll say a guy. He's a fucking guy. He's not a dad. He's not a fucking dad. He's a guy.
Oh, people like that you said to buy?
No, it's motherfuckers here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
South Africa.
He's not a dad to me. He's a guy. Saw this guy. He saw this guy taking umntana wayo embambe apha phambi kwayo lovingly, and the child trusts. And then this guy says, if you guys can be able to edit in what that guy said on the video, please do. And then he's, yes, and speaking ola hlobo ngomntana wayo who's gonna grow up and fight for a language yakhe xa ebona uba my parents sold me short by not teaching me a language, the home language.
I think Yakim, this would probably be my only thing to say on this topic.
He failed, man. Fuck him.
Yeah, that thing was embarrassing, to say the least.
For everyone.
To listen to a father ridiculing umntanakhe, smiling.
For
I
what?
hated that
For what?
experience. Yeah, because also he prides himself in commentating socially in Xhosa, but his biggest failure is not ensuring that his child can be articulate in the same language. Proud of the fact that bayakwazi uthetha ngomntana wakhe ekhona.
You must
right,
look at the
nomama
guy's
wakhe.
videos.
He's so proud of that. Ukuthi siyakwazi unothetha ngaye elapha endlini kodwa uyafuna untlithwa. Ntoni ne? All good and well. But do you realize that 20 years from now, that child uzawudinga umxhantini athethe nabantu abadala bakokwabo. And you would not have given that child the skill, the ability to do that job, to pray over her life.
As a
because
father.
when you chose to ridicule her instead of teaching her.
As a father,
When
as a
who's
protector.
decided that isiXhosa is going to be your money, you can't give the same to your dear child. And you want to bring her on an international platform for us to look at
And a fucking
and
Chinese.
ridicule
It's
further.
Chinese. TikTok is Chinese.
To ridicule further. It is rubbish what he did. I do not entertain it. He has the duty to teach umntanakhe how to speak isiXhosa. uThixo wokuqala womntwana uyise nonyoko. It cannot be that when you want to be proud and showcase how your child lacks. You know what I mean? Uzosibonisa loo nto leyo ngento bekusuppose uyifumana kuwe kakade. Oh, he's ridiculous. And ke ngoku ngaske kubekho wenza short of this. Ambonise bandithi he is ridiculous. He is an embarrassment and he is not an ambassador for the Xhosa nation. For the fact that he failed to make sure that umntwana wakhe ungumXhosa who is proud. Showcasing that umntwana makakwazi uthetha yilaa nto yayisenziwa ngabazali ngoku abantwana beqala uya model Cs bamane besithi she can't speak Zulu. No, that's not where we are right now. You do not get to showcase and ridicule your child and create a meme out of your child and understand about teen, because that shows that your household is not in order when you go around saying, that's nonsense.
And he says this child must says, thank you.
Fuck that.
No, fuck him.
Tamaki.
Look, if he wanted views, because
Tamaki is
I've
mad.
daughters. I've two daughters.
Utaya Kim showed me this video, I think about an hour before we started recording. And he was like, Zama, what do you think of this? In fact, he tried to tell me about this guy and I didn't know because we've been busy, so I wasn't able to get into social media. And then he showed me the video. And the first thing I said to him is that, but how does this guy not realize that this is his own shortcoming? Because if you're going to take your kids to private schools that are English medium schools, those schools are going to teach your child to speak English. So then it is your own duty to make them speak their language that you speak at home. So now how are you ridiculing your own child but not being able to do the thing that you were supposed to teach them? Number one. Number two, do you not realize that this is a child that is going to grow up to be a human being interacting with other human beings, and you are humiliating them in a public platform? Where
Look,
are they supposed to get their self-esteem if not from their own
to the
parents?
young queen, she was not humiliated. The person that had an understanding of what the video was about is the father. The father is humiliated. The father is not being fatherly, because if you go to his page and see most of his videos, he's always humiliating someone. There's this guy who's always carrying his camera. He's always speaking down on that person. This is someone ofike elalini, unemali,
I
is
need to go take a
thriving.
call quickly. So I'm signing out Ngohlobo. Take
Okay.
it over to the
Yes, you see, this is someone who is in anything, who's doing everything wrong. This guy is speaking bad to people. This guy, because of imali, education and everything, he thinks he's everything that people need to know and understand. And I'm saying to you as a father, you must go online, because you love internet already. You must go online, bro. Check out the impact that not having a father as a woman child does to you. You must check off these things. People, sityola nabantu, sichata nabantu, kuthiwa daddy issues, you must check that. It brings real psychological things ebomini bethu. So for you to do that thing to your daughter, and you've posted that this shit is going to be deleted, but the internet never forgets. Anything that was ever on the internet is never truly and thoroughly deleted. It's saved somewhere. So this video that you made is eternal. Thank you very much. It was a dope one. What is Bon Jovi? Let's see you next time.